Ready? Hello everyone. I'm going to explain the question answer of chapter 11, that is the biotechnology. Biotechnology we have two lessons, 11th and 12th. So here in this chapter I'm going to explain the question answer, all 12 question answer of chapter 11. Okay. So try to understand. Your first question is, read here, first question. Can you list 10 recombinant protein which are used in medical practice? Find out whether they are used as a therapeutic, use the internet. So no need to go for internet. Your answer is already here. The recombinant proteins and therapeutic usage. So here 10 proteins are there. First is humulin. So humulin is a insulin type of protein that is synthesized by the recombinant DNA technology and used in treatment of diabetes mellitus. Okay. Interferons are the proteins generally synthesized by the cell which die by the viral infections. So with the help of recombinant DNA technology we have developed, and they are used for the treatment of cancer, AIDS and other viral diseases. OKT3, it is immunosuppressant. During the kidney transplant this enzyme is used. Factor 8 and 9 you can write 2.2, but you can write in 1 also. These are used for treatment of hemophilia A and B. Means 8 is used for treatment of hemophilia A, 8 is used, and 9th is used for treatment of B respectively. Interleukins, leukemia, the blood cancer. So these type of recombinant proteins are used to treatment of blood cancer. Growth hormone used in case of dwarfism, and if it is administered in lower age or under the growing period, the height is increased. Hirudinuria, it is called leech name is this one. So hirudin is a enzyme that helps in anticoagulants. It removes the blood clot. So removal of blood clot, in case of injury there is a blood clot in head region or any other region, that can be removed by use of this hirudin. Platelets growth factor, these are used to recover the wound healing. Calcitonin, treatment of rickets. Ricket is a, it's a chronic disease. So in case of permanent calcium deficiency, the children generally suffer from this one. So calcitonin type of protein is used this. DNase, it is also used in cystic fibrosis. Okay. Now come to your second question. Make a chart with diagrammatic representation showing restriction enzyme, the substrate DNA on which it acts, and the site at which it cuts DNA and product it produces. So here I have made the answer for you. Try to understand. Here this one is a vector DNA and this one is a foreign DNA. So the restriction in EcoR1 recognized at the site GA, palindrome sequence GAATTC, again GAATTC. So this enzyme EcoR1 recognizes at G site and cut from this one as well as from this one. Okay, these are the two strands, one from vector, another from foreign DNA, but the same restriction endonuclease cut both the strands at recognizing their site. So in one figure you will make this one very easily. In second, when it cut, it produces two sticky ends. Remove GAATTC is removed from here. Again from lower portion G is left and AATTC is removed. So these are removed. Remember, okay, these are removed, and after removing, what the structure is left, that is the fragments of foreign DNA as well as vector, and they are joined together with the help of the enzyme ligases. Ligases enzyme used to join them, and sticky ends join together to make a recombinant DNA. So these are the steps I have already explained you. If you explain this one, you can write the explanation also, but here according to the question only you have to write the diagram sequentially. Okay. After that you will write that showing steps in the what the figure is showing, the showing a step in the formation of recombinant DNA by ECO R1. Okay. Now come to the question number 3. Question number 3 is that from what you have learned, can you tell whether enzyme are bigger or the DNA is bigger in molecular size? How did you know? Now come to the answer. The same question is written here. As for molecular size is concerned, the DNA is bigger. Why? The DNA is polynucleotide, while proteins are polypeptide. Polynucleotide is made up of pentose, deoxyribose sugar, phosphate and nitrogenous bases like purine and pyrimidine. So you are just observing that the characteristics, the complexity of DNA is more. If you biochemically, if you analyze, then the polypeptide peptides are bond formed between amino and carboxylic group. So here peptide bonds are formed. And when you talk about the DNA structure, there is a phosphate, sugar and base, one pair from one side and joined by hydrogen bond with the other base, sugar and phosphate. So in this way, these structures are more complex and in comparison to the protein. So I think you have got the answer. Now come to the question number 4. Question number 4 tells that what would be the molar concentration of human DNA in human cell? Consult your teacher. Let me tell you, various agencies have given a very confusing answer. So I have tried my best to answer this one. As we know that molar concentration, what do you mean by molar? Means 1 mole, the molecular weight of 1 mole of DNA. So as we know, yet we have seen that in human somatic cell there are 6.6 into 10 to the power 9 base pair. When we talk to one base pair means one base pair contains phosphate, sugar and bases, and bases are of 4 different types: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. So we have to find out that what happens in one base pair. In one base pair there are 2 phosphate in one side, another in another side, 2 sugars. So when we count the molecular weight of phosphate, we get it 97. When we count the 2 molecules, 97. 2 molecules of pentose sugar, then we get 150. So when we add 150 and 97, then we have to find out the 4 other nitrogenous bases. So they are of adenine. Adenine has 135. Adenine is made chemically C5, H5 and N5. Thymine is C5, H6, O2 and N2. Cytosine is C4, H5, O1 and N3. And guanine is C5, H5, O1, N5. So when they calculate their molecular masses, the adenine has 135, thymine has 126, cytosine has 151 and guanine has again 151. So in this way we can find out the average one. It is also variable because maybe that the pairs of adenine and thymine and cytosine and guanine, whether they are equal or not, this also decide. So the answer will be approximate, slightly vary on the basis of this concentration, but average, I am just calculating the average of these 4. So when we talk the average, we get what? 281. Okay. So 281 is the nitrogenous bases. One base pair has 281. How did I get 281? 281 I have got by joining this on adenine and thymine, 261, cytosine and guanine, 151, 151, 302. So total it will be 563, and it is 2 pairs. So 1 pair, I am talking about 1 base pair. So when I divide by 2, we get 281. Have you got this point? So 281, 97, 151, when we add 528. So one molecule of one base pair has 528 Dalton atomic mass unit, the mass, and it has approximately 6.6. I am considering the 6 only for easy to calculate. So 6 into 10 to the power 9, when we calculate this one, it comes generally approximately 3.168 into 10 to the power 12 atomic mass unit. When it is multiplied by 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 24, you know that 1 m is equal to such gram. So the such gram is multiplied by this atomic Dalton, we will get in grams. So 5.2056 10 to the power minus 12 grams. So in this way you can calculate. This is a very lengthy question, but as the question is there, so you have to find out the answer. Now come to next time, the question number 5. Do eukaryotic cells have restriction in the nucleus? Justify your answer. Okay. So eukaryotic cells have no, answer will be no, since the DNA molecule of eukaryotes are heavily methylated. So when they are heavily methylated, all 900 restriction endonucleases are isolated from 230 strains of bacteria in your book already mentioned. So these are used by the bacterium to restrict the growth of the bacteriophages and their packaging. So in this way, no eukaryotes have this type of restriction endonucleases. Question number 6. Clearly show the question. Besides better aeration and mixing property, what other advantage do stirred tank bioreactors have over shake flask? So you were just observing the bioreactor, the diagram of bioreactor in your NCERT book, the stirred tank bioreactors. So what will be the answer? Correct answer. So besides better aeration and mixing properties do the stirred tank bioreactors have over the shake flask? They are large volume. They are the vessels suitable for 100 to 1000 liter of culture of products. So can be obtained. Foam control system is there, which is unable in case of shake flask. pH and temperature control system is there, which are absent in shake flask. Periodic collection of sample for the test is also available in a stirred tank bioreactor, which cannot be obtained in flask. So these are the answer. Question number 7. When we come to the question number 7, collect 5 example of palindromic DNA sequence by consulting your teacher. सब तो टीचर पर फेंक देता है. तो here I have given है ना 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One is AACGTT and it's in 5 to 3 prime direction. AACGTT. One palindrome is there. When read from 5 to 3 direction, they appear to be same. AA 5 to 3 and again 5 to 3. So in this direction and in this direction, they appear to be same. Hence they are called palindrome. So AGGCCT. Again AGGCCT. When you compare the complementary which I stand here. So the third one is GAATTC. GAATTC again. ACTAGT. ACTAGT. Again TGA, TCA, TGA, TCA. So in this way, numerable palindrome sequence you can also apply your mind and you can write. So no problem. Question number 8. Can you recall meiosis and indicate at which stage of recombinant DNA is made? You have studied in standard 11th that in packaging stage of the meiosis of prophase first, there is a crossing over, and in crossing over the exchange of genetic material taking place. You are already familiar. So packaging stage of prophase first of meiosis. Question number 9. Question number 9 says that can you think and answer how reporter enzyme can be used to monitor transformation of host cell by foreign DNA in addition to the selectable marker. You remember the lac operon system. In lac operon, we have studied that beta-galactosidase is the enzyme. So yes, beta-galactosidase enzyme which is transcribed and translated by the Z gene. Remember lac operon. If you have not seen, you can see my video. In lac operon, I have already explained what the beta-galactosidase and how it breaks the metabolizes the lactose into glucose and galactose. So on breaking this one, we can with the help of color staining the product as a lactose or glucose or galactose, we can differentiate whether the metabolism has taken place or not. If metabolism has taken place, it means the gene which is transcribed and translate the beta-galactosidase is already inserted in the rDNA, okay, recombinant DNA. कहने का यह मतलब है कि यदि ये rDNA को इसमें ये बीटा-ग्लैक्टोसिडेज वाला जीन इसमें इंसर्ट कर दिया गया है, ये रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए बना है, तो ये अपना प्रोडक्ट बना करके मेटाबोलाइज कर देगा. जब मेटाबोलाइज कर देगा लैक्टोज को, तो लैक्टोज से ग्लूकोज और गलैक्टोज बन जाएंगे, तो जिसका कलर स्टेन से हम इजिली क्रोमोजेनिक सब्सटेंस को यूज करके हम इसे डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. तो बीटा ग्लैक्टोसिडेज योर आंसर. ओके, थैंक यू. देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. ब्रीफली डिस्क्राइब द फॉलोइंग: origin of replication, bioreactors and downstream processing. So now come to the ORI or origin of replication. It is the site of the DNA sequence from which replication begins. So as we know that ORI is the origin of replication. It is the site from where the helicase enzyme fit and transcription begins, or replication both begins. So it also controls the copy number of. The number of ORI is equal to number of copy it replicate. Second is bioreactor. This is the standard bioreactor. Easily you can draw the diagram having the round bottom, and there is a motor having blades, various blades to rotate, agitate, to provide some proper mixing. Here is a pH control, acid-base pH control system, steam, sterilization passage is here. So steam is allowed to pass to make it temperature, increase the temperature. This is inlet through which the material is, which is to be cultured, is transferred. Here is a sterile layer, you can pass through this sterile layer, and because oxygen is required in this aerobically growth or sometimes anaerobically too. So sampling collection, there is an outlet through which a periodic sample collection is done. So this is a approximately 1000 liter of bioreactor tank. So a bioreactor is a large, what is its explanation? A large vessel that is 100 to 1000 liter, which is well equipped. अब ये देखो सारे संसाधनों से ये क्या है, equipped है. तो well equipped एंड कंडीशंस, सारे कंडीशंस में इसमें दिएंगे, थर्मोमीटर से टेम्परेचर बता देगा, प्रेशर बता देगा, बहुत सारा सब कंडीशन है. कंडीशन फॉर माइक्रोबियल ग्रोथ फॉर ए पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट. देयर आर मोटर टू कंट्रोल, अब ये मोटर है, टू कंट्रोल द मिक्सिंग ऑफ कल्चर, एसिड बेस pH control system, passage of a sterile layer. So what I have already explained, this reactor convert raw material into desired product at large scale which cannot be obtained by shaking flask. Another question we have already. Downstream processes. Second is your downstream processes. All the steps taken after the production of a product which includes purification. Your in bioreactor you have finished the product, okay, product is synthesized. Now this product is purified, isolated, then purified and packed, then sent for marketing, protected in proper temperature, as we are talking about that your corona vaccine requires -100, -30 degree temperature to be stored. So storage up to the final delivery to the patient. The all steps come under downstream processes. Clear? Now question number 11. Question number 11 is explain briefly. You have to write short notes on polymerase chain reaction, restriction enzyme and DNA chitinase. So when we write the PCR, polymerase chain reaction, here the polymerase chain reaction has 3 steps you have to describe only. The one is it is a process where the multiple copy of DNA is obtained within a short period of time. So it is a process of amplification of multiplication of a segment of DNA gene. So suppose that this one is DNA having 5' to 3', 3' to 5 anti-parallel pattern, so double helix. So when it is heated up to 94 degrees, the hydrogen bond between the two strands is breaks, and this process is called denaturation. So single thread, the double stranded DNA is now made single stranded. Now already primers, which are the RNA primers, are added in 3 to 5' direction. Again because the transcription begins from 5' to 3' direction replication. So it is attached to the 3' direction, or in the parental strand the 3' direction, but transcription occur in 5 to 3' direction. So here this process is done at 62 degrees Celsius, and this process is called annealing. Okay, annealing. Then the after DNA polymerase, Taq polymerase is used, which can work at the 72 degrees Celsius. So here temperature control system is very important. At 94 degree you make it denaturation. At 62 degree again you have to cool down. The annealing is done. There is a primary for hybridization by the already artificially synthesized primers, and then the Taq polymerase is used to make the multiple copy, extend it. So for extension, the double stranded to single, from single strand we have got the 2 strands, so double in one cycle. So first cycle is completed, okay, and by continuous the same step repeating again and again, we obtain multiple copy by the formula of 2n square product, 2n square 2 to the power n copy, 2 to the power n copy, where n is the number of cycle. If it is 1, then 2 into 1, 2 copy we have got. If it is 2, then 2 to the 4 copy we will obtain. In the second cycle 1, 2, 3, 4 copy. If it is 3, then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copy will be given. So in this formula we can obtain how many copy you can obtain. So what happens in, again you try to understand what happens in denaturation. The double stranded DNA is heated at 94 degrees Celsius, hydrogen bond breaks, to make single-stranded DNA. What happens in annealing? So in annealing, which is done at the 62 degrees Celsius, so at lower, comparatively lower temperature, the already synthesized RNA primers are attached from 3' to 5. Remember, 3' to 5' direction of the parental single-stranded DNA. And hybridization, this process is also known as hybridization. Hybridize to make double-stranded, a small segment, which is again polymerized. So make double-stranded. And extension, this small unit is again added by more nitrogenous bases and phosphate and sugar. So make the extend this small segment into the original DNA copy. So in extension at 72 degrees with the Taq polymerase, the extension is done and double-stranded DNA is made. So in this way, you can easily write the answer. Your another is chitinase. Chitinase is an enzyme. Chitinase is an enzyme which is used to dissolve the fungal cell, as they are made up of chitin. Okay, so it is very easy. You can easily write. Next question is your question number 11. Explain briefly the PCR restriction enzymes. You have already discussed. Question number 12. Restriction enzyme we have already. Okay, restriction enzymes and DNA. So in question number 11. Okay, question number 11. We have to write the explain briefly. Question number 11. PCR we have already discussed. Now B, question B, restriction enzyme and DNA. So restriction enzyme you can write in this way, separate. Okay, restriction enzymes and DNA. So these are the molecular seizures which cut DNA at a specific location in palindrome, like GAATTC, it cut at the G site from here also. Hind second was the first restriction endonuclease, was isolated from the strain of the bacterium Haemophilus influenzae. Now 900 restriction endonucleases are discovered from 230 different strains of bacteria. Okay, restriction endonucleases act on the defense system by the adding methyl group or removing phosphate group from the pathogen. While DNA, it is a double helix of polynucleotide chain joined by hydrogen bond. The segment of DNA having a base pair contains a gene which are known as unit of inheritance. The polynucleotides are made up of sugar, phosphate and bases. So detail for DNA structure you can see. Next is your chitinase I have already discussed. Discuss with your teacher and find out how to distinguish between plasmids and chromosomal DNA, RNA and DNA, exonucleases and endonucleases. So try to understand. Here in plasmids DNA and chromosomal DNA. This one is a diagram of bacterium. So this bacterium has this one chromosomal DNA and this one is a plasmid DNA. Here it is chromosomal DNA and this one is plasmid DNA. So in plasmid DNA, how can we write? This is the circular. Try to understand. Circular, it's a circular in shape. Double-stranded, extra chromosomal. It is extra to the chromosome. Chromosomal autonomously replicating, and as many copy it required, it replicates many copy. So replicating DNA, providing extra character like antibiotic resistance, so such as plasmids. While chromosomal DNA are present in both, it is only present in prokaryotes and it has no histone protein. So in contrast, you can write easily that it present in both prokaryotic eukaryotes, may be circular, may be linear. Genes for the character essential for metabolisms are present here. So next, last question is your exonucleases and endonucleases. You can easily write exonucleases and endonucleases. End point while endonuclease is cut at the inside of DNA. Okay, so this is only very simple, you can write easily. So thank you. I think I hope if you like this answer, you don't miss to like the video, and I will if you like and subscribe, I will make many more video for you, and which will be useful for your examination purpose. Thank you.